Hello, good evening. I hope you're doing well. I just wanted to do a follow-up to my last video. I am Chelsea Colley. I am an empowerment specialist, speaker, and author. I empower women and moms to dream big, create a roadmap, and achieve their dreams now so they can gain more fulfillment in their life. So I just wanted to do a follow-up to the follow-up video of Kirsten W. So there are a lot of allegations out there, and I had heard the allegations and I had heard the rumors, but I didn't say anything about it yet because they're just rumors. So I'm going to go ahead and address that now because I see, everybody else is pretty much saying she's dead. And to me, and other people I know, it seems that of the people that I'm talking to about, a good portion of them has questions and is wondering if she is alive, because we know that we can't trust anything, right? In this movement, once we have things figured out, once we think we have things figured out, it could all change. So we don't have our faith in each other or other man. We have our faith in God. So that's where we should have our discernment, and that's where it comes from. So you can always ask God if it's true or not. So there's the story that she's dead, and then there's also the story that, maybe she was taken by the White Hats to be in protection, because her life was at risk. Maybe she was, going to be attacked, or there's an alternate viewpoint that she is running and she is hiding, and that was proposed by Lisa P. on BitChute. There's allegations from Lisa P. on BitChute and Blue Water on BitChute. And Lisa P., it's pretty hard to ignore her opinion because it seems like it's personal opinion, and she hadn't said these thoughts before or these feelings about Kirsten that she had before, and she never said it before, but now that everybody thinks she's dead, she came out and said it. So I think that gives her a little bit of credibility, because if she wanted to bash Kirsten, she would have done it years ago when, they met and clashed and she felt like she was not a good human. So instead of, going, my husband is texting me. This is important work. It's just not everybody sees that. So I figured, let me just let you hear for yourself what she says. So this is what Lisa P. says on McAllister TV.
Kirsten, I met her right from Twitter. Before she was ever on YouTube, I met her. And I had her on my channel early on. And she came out here and met me at a Republican event. And I was horrified, okay? I'm not going to exactly tell you why. I was horrified. And I had a visceral reaction. And I never contacted her again. She called me day and night. I did a couple videos with her, and I was very, very sorry that I did after I had met her in person. Okay? So my business is not to then go ahead and tell everybody, it's not like I highly recommended her or anything. It was easy for me to slide out of it. Okay? So I've been kind of following now. You can see here that Blue Water, and it's almost like he seems to be obsessed with her a little bit. Hi, Blue Water, if you're out there. But I just ignored it until I saw this. Kirsten W. died. No, she's not dead. She's running. She's hiding. if it's a she. Okay? If you think she's dead, then Santa Claus must have come to your house this Christmas with his sled and everything. Yeah, and his little elves must have been working on your presents all year. And yes, they did. Phil McConnell.
Okay.
And
so here's where it gets serious.
Age of Margaritaville, who is Guy.
Okay. So there is, and this is what she goes into, and you can check it out because I don't want to make this too long, and I don't, let's see, I don't want to play too much of her because I don't know Lisa personally, but she does seem credible. She's had a BitChute channel for several years. But basically she says she's not even a woman. She says she's a man. She says she never trusted her. And she also said that the stuff about the stealing money from the Children's Foundation is true. And that is a whole different can of worms that I don't even know if I want to open that, but that is one of the big allegations out there, is that Kirsten was, let me just say what they're saying. Well, I don't have to start there. Let me just start with when the news come out. I think this was almost 3 years ago. It was over a year ago when this came out. And apparently they're saying that Kirsten and Timothy Charles Holseth stole $700,000 from Field McConnell's charity. And they're saying that Kirsten posed as a parent and was one of the people that helped put Field McConnell behind bars. And Field McConnell is a military guy, and he's very credible. He was one of the main whistleblowers of, like, he talked a lot about the truth about 9/11. He's seen a lot because he's been part of the military for a long time. So Field McConnell was really targeted because it seems like he's a good guy that's talking. And apparently they're saying that Kirsten helped put him in jail by posing as a parent, where he had supposedly molested a child, which he was against that, and he was raising money to fight pedophilia. So I'll just play this. I know my husband's like, hurry up. He wants me to come in the room. But this is just, it's kind of important to know what they're saying.
And I never said much about with Agent Margaritaville, who is Guy Brummel. That's who Agent Margaritaville is, Guy Brummel. He told me all about this. And I never said much about Kirsten. See, this is why people have to fake their. And yes, they did.
So basically in there, she said, this is what they did, and it's what I just explained, where they're saying Field McConnell and Guy Margaritaville something had a charity, and Field McConnell was in jail, and Field McConnell's wife was sick, and somehow it got put into the hands of Timothy Charles Holseth, who he trusted, but who was also a bad guy, posing as a good guy. And and Timothy Charles Holseth and Kirsten W stole the $700,000. That's the allegation. And this is her comments on that, Lisa P.
And yes, they did.
Yes, they did, she said.
Field McConnell and Guy Brummel started a fund for children. And they left it, I guess Timothy Holseth conned them into thinking that he was going to take good care of it after. Let's read what this says. Actually, it says Kirsten was involved with Timothy Charles Homeseth and stole $700K from Phil McConnell's children's charity, and I heard it was close to $1 million. So that jibes. Agent Margaritaville let out all the evidence of how Homeseth and Kirsten W robbed Field, and Field was locked up and had left Homeseth in charge. So, and Kirsten was the one that got Field in trouble in Florida. She told lies and pretended to be the mom of a child that was abused. I totally believe that. I totally believe that. I had a visceral reaction to this person.
Okay, so I think you get the idea. They're both very upset with her. They don't like her. They never liked her. They say that she's a horrible person that stole over $700,000 from a children's charity. And there's also accusations from Blue Water about other people too, which I don't know if I want to jump into this, but there are people questioning anybody who's ever been working with Kirsten. Let's just put it that way. Blue Water posted on his, okay, so this is McAllister TV. Kirsten was involved with Timothy Charles Homeseth and sold $700,000 from Phil McConnell's children's charity. Agent Margaritaville let out all the evidence. They make her out to be such a patriot. I was not a fan. I found it hard to believe that she was an actress. So, so here's what Blue Water had to say. He said, let me tell you my dealings with Princess Kirsten. I saw the man who promoted the fake king and came out of nowhere, Charlie Ward, who promoted Charlie Ward to become an instant millionaire with the dummies who thought he was God. So I saw Cirsten W and he were buddies and told by his niece that they loved her and are close. Did Charlie sleep with this guy? So I would see he asking everyone on his shows to join the new platform that does not censor. So I joined and then he got censored. And so he's jaded about that. Then he said that I was the only one telling real intel and Kirsten was copying him. I don't know anything about this, but he says I stayed in my own feelings. Or no, he said, I like you, Linda. I never had a good feeling about Kirsten. I stayed in my own little space and it was growing like wildfire and everyone has come over to see what I posted. While the Mickey Mouse crowd kissing each other's ass, Kirsten, Mel K, Roseanne Barr, and Gene Decode did their thing. So he's throwing all of them under the bus. And he's also saying, no, I'm not going to mention that. I'm not going to mention that part. But that's just one guy. That's just one guy and his thoughts. And that was Blue Water from BitChute. So I don't know. I just want to start a conversation. I don't want to take a ton of time on this because essentially it is important, but it's not important because we're never going to know. And we're never going to find out what's true and what's not true and who's alive and who's not alive until we know. So while some people are committed to the fact that, yes, she's dead and mourning her death, and some people are saying she's alive, she's running, she did all these horrible things. I think it's up to you what you want to believe. And as far as I'm concerned, like I said, I do hope she is alive. And I hope she is in protection. And I don't know if she was a good or a bad human, but maybe she was born into a satanic family and grew up like this. And maybe she got into some trouble a few years ago and maybe they made a deal with her that she would come online and do intel and give actually good intel. So maybe she's a black hat turned white hat. Or she could be a black hat, and then all these other people are black hats too, which is very scary. Gene Decode, Michael Jaco, who I know and love. Scott McKay, David Rodriguez, they're all getting pulled into this. David Zublik, they're all getting lumped in with this. So I'm not on either side, and I'm not saying one thing. I'm just in the messy middle, and I'm on this straight and narrow path where I don't claim to know the answers. I'm just asking the questions. Essentially, what it comes down to is it doesn't matter what the facts are, because we're not going to find the real facts now, So I would just check in with yourself and your higher self. And a way I do that is I say something, and then I say yes, and I see if I feel something, and then I say no, and I see if I feel something. So example, what I said was, God, is Kirsten alive and being protected? And I say yes, I feel, and I say no, she's dead. And I feel, and it feels which one feels real to me. When you feel that warm sensation, it's a warming, and it feels almost like a hunger, and it's a warming sensation coming in. That to me is a confirmation or a yes from God or source or whatever. And then when you feel it going out, that's a not truth. Like when you feel a void, that feels, so when you say yes or no, one of them is going to feel like a warmth, and one of them is going to feel like a void. And the one that feels like the warmth, that's the one that you can trust. So ask your higher self. I look forward to getting you more content, not about Kirsten. I'm not trying to get involved in the drama. I'm just having the conversation out loud so we can have it together, because I know there's a lot of people out there struggling with this. Once it comes to, so here's the thing, intel doesn't really matter, right? The truth, when it comes down to it, I mean, yes, the truth matters, but we're never going to know the truth about all the stuff. But when it affects your life, that kind of makes it different. And the way that this affected our lives, it's like we mourned the death of Kirsten W. as if she were a friend, which she's not a friend personally, but as if she were a friend, so we mourn the death of her. Now, if she's not really dead, that kind of leaves us in limbo. Like I can't just close the book on that because she may not be dead. So, getting caught up in the intel is a trap. And so we should try to avoid that. And what I just want to say is trust yourself, love yourself, embrace love in your life, and see what resonates with you. And let's continue to move on, rest in peace, or God bless to you, Kirsten. And we'll all drink some Evo C60 in your honor. Kind of chase that with some water. It is very good. It is very good. I highly recommend it. All right, much love. Please comment below and tell me what your thoughts are, what you want to hear more about. And please, I'm asking you a favor, please comment and let me know where you're tuning in from, because I would love to know. I know that we have some people that are outside of the US, which is super exciting. So please let me know where you're tuning in from, and sending you much love and light. Have a great rest of your week.